Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So there's been something going on in the comics lately regarding Dwight. Dwight has started to have this growing problem with Rick, and it's becoming a serious issue. Some people, including me, have been worried that Dwight might try to betray Rick, or kill Rick, or become the leader, or try to take over in a way that is, well, not good. And Rick might try to kill Dwight, and Rick and Dwight might become enemies and try to fight each other. I'm not too worried about this. I think it's just Dwight has this flaw, this flaw with his love for Sherry, who's now dead. Dwight loved this woman. He got his face burned, and Negan pretty much took her, and she didn't have to be with Negan. She chose to be with Negan. And if you read the prequel, you see that Sherry was flirting with Negan long before Negan became much of anything, long before he became the leader of the Savior. So Sherry was already kind of flirty and not really loyal to Dwight, but Dwight was obsessed with her. Dwight is obsessed with her. He cared about her happiness more than anything, even though if you really read the comics and you can put it all together, she pretty much treated him like shit the entire time. And he worshipped her. Everything he did was pretty much for her. Him becoming a double agent and fighting against Negan, he was trying to protect his people and help his people and get Negan out of the playing field, but he was also trying to help Sherry, and he was trying to protect Sherry. And years later, in A New Beginning, he says that Sherry is with another man and that he's happy for her. And he starts talking to Laura, and it seems like he still has some problems, like he still misses Sherry. And he and Rick kind of grow closer. He pretty much Dwight leaves the sanctuary and goes to Alexandria and helps Rick and does a lot of useful things. And during the Whisperer War, he pretty much leads the group in the fights. Rick is actually, because of his limp and his missing hand, he can't do too much. So Rick is sort of the big commander at Alexandria, and Dwight is the one actually leading the fights and fighting the Whisperers. So Dwight and Rick kind of have this big respect for each other. But Sherry and her saviors, they come to Alexandria right when the Whisperer ended, right when the Whisperer War ended, right when Andrea died. Sherry and her saviors, they came to Alexandria, and they have some problems, and they argue, and Sherry and Rick have a private one-on-one conversation, and Sherry just goes berserk and tries to kill Rick, and Rick accidentally kills her. And so that upsets Dwight, but Dwight handles it fairly well. But then there's strike two, and that is when Rick lets Negan calm the Saviors down. Rick lets him calm the Saviors down. And Dwight does not like Negan. Dwight does not like the fact that Rick let Negan calm the Saviors down. He thought it was too much of a risk. So this, coupled with the death of Sherry, causes Dwight to have some problems with Rick. Because first of all, he doesn't know if Sherry's death was an accident. He doesn't know for sure. He's so obsessed with this woman that pretty much blinded him to any truth, any logic. And second of all, he doesn't like the fact that Rick let Negan calm the Saviors down. Negan was such a wild card that Dwight didn't really like the odds of that working, and he thought that Rick made some bad choices as a leader. So then later on, Rick and Dwight have this private conversation where Dwight tells Rick, look, I saw you let Negan, who's a psychopath, calm the Saviors down. That could have completely gone wrong. You just have bad leadership skills. You don't think before you act. You just do whatever you want, even if you get the woman I loved killed. And Rick's like, no, I didn't get her killed. It was an accident. And Dwight kind of believes Rick, but he kind of doesn't believe Rick. So that just kind of goes to show that he's just blinded by his obsession with Sherry, because Rick tells Dwight that Sherry was a bitch. Laura, who's Dwight's kind of on again, off again. Girlfriend tells Dwight that Sherry was a bitch. Negan tells Dwight that Sherry was a bitch. Negan's like, look, she was a ladder climber. You know, she was not a loyal person. She was a bitch. Why do you care so much about her? And Dwight just gets angry and screams at Negan. Negan's like, okay, shit. So that's Dwight's main flaw, is his love for Sherry, his obsession with Sherry kind of blinds him to anything else. And in one of the latest issues, Dwight continues to talk about Sherry with Laura, and Laura's like, look, if you're going to stay obsessed with Sherry, who's a bitch, look, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I don't know what that's going to lead to. I don't know if Dwight's going to get his shit together, or if he's going to get over his shit, or if Dwight is going to become a problem, if Dwight and Rick are going to have a problem with each other, because they both have threatened each other. They're both so mad about everything that they've threatened each other. Dwight wants to become the leader. He wants Rick out of the way. This could be setting up something that I have suspected for a long time, which is Rick will no longer be the main character. And it's not Carl that'll be the main character. It's going to be pretty much everyone. There's going to be like 5 or 6 main characters. If everyone goes to this Commonwealth place, if the Commonwealth place is legit and there's actually 50,000 people and there's a female president, Rick Grimes could be the advisor. He could be the one that's giving this president lady advice. So Rick is no longer the leader. So they could actually be setting that up. They could be setting up Rick no longer being the leader, because Dwight told Rick, look, you're not fit to be the leader anymore. Let me take charge. But I'm really hoping that Dwight and Rick can become friends again, and Dwight can get over his obsession with Sherry, because Laura is an awesome girl. Laura is a badass. She's hot. Like she has a good personality. Like, she and Dwight are right for each other. Dwight just needs to get over his bullshit. He just needs to get over his obsession with Sherry. So I'm hoping that Dwight can get over his shit and apologize to Rick and apologize to Laura, and he and Laura can get back together and rekindle their relationship, and Dwight can become a productive soldier from here on out. But I don't know. I hope that's what happens. I hope Dwight doesn't die. I hope Dwight doesn't become a problem or cause any problems, because he's my favorite character in the comics. He and Andrea were my favorite characters, and Andrea's dead, and I really hope Dwight doesn't die. That's the main thing for me. I don't want him to die. I want him. I think he has more story, and I want to see him with Laura, and I want to see him apologize to Rick and then become friends again. So I'm hoping that's what happens. I think it's likely that Dwight will redeem himself and get over his bullshit, but I don't know for sure. Anything's possible. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. We're at 29 subscribers right now, so please hit that subscribe button and get me to my first goal of 250. Anyway, I'm Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.